You are back, and we're going to talk about...
Okay, so I'll tell you what I would like to come back to, if I may, and that is the fitness. Because you mentioned about you need to be fit to dive.
Sure.
And I kind of want to elaborate on what that means, because one of the misconceptions that I feel we hear a lot is that people think and say, I'm not fit enough to do this course. Now, fit to dive means what? What does fit to dive mean?
Lulu, what do you think?
Hang on, tell me, you said it, you said fit to dive.
Yeah,
so
I said fit to dive.
what does that mean? How would you describe that?
I don't know how to put it in words.
Doctor?
Yeah, of course you need to see a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you
Only
have,
if.
If, I haven't finished. Only if. What do we do that?
Okay, so there's a basic medical questionnaire for every course.
Yeah.
The same for open water, same for advanced. Every course has a basic medical questionnaire, and if you are answering the appropriate answer to all of those questions, then you do not need to see a physician to enrol in any course. And the rescue course is no different. So in other words, if you're fit enough to enrol in an open water course, you are fit enough to enrol in a rescue diver course. Fitness level. Why do people think, Lulu, that they need to be fit, as in physically fit, to do a rescue diver course? Why do you think that they think that?
I think it's because they thought that they're going to rescue somebody, so that they need to be able to carry
or drive van.
Plus that somebody is a diver, so they have all the equipment, so they thought, oh, I have to carry this person. Yeah, it's too heavy, and it's in the water. Yeah.
So now, this is an interesting comment, because actually from time to time, as professionals, we find ourselves having to help someone.
Yeah.
And indeed we do some scenario training once in a while on the island, which I usually conduct myself, for our team to stay sharp in rescue.
Yeah.
And never do we do this alone.
Yeah.
We do it as a group, because we're always together with other divers. There's always someone around. Occasionally we do some of the skills independently, but we never would ask, for example, you, Melissa, to carry someone my size out of the water on your own. Yeah, you would always try and get some bystanders to help, or other professionals or other divers that might be around. We dive as a buddy team as a minimum. So during the rescue diver training, we only emphasise the need to work as teams, and try to involve everybody at their own ability level. And we've all got differing abilities. So we develop that ability to help other divers, but only to the level that we can manage. And pacing yourself is important. So that's why you do not need to be super fit. We're all different. So I want to dispel that misconception, and I want everyone to know that they can be welcomed into this course and can participate and learn how to help others to the best of their ability. The most important thing for me is that we try to help. If we stand by and say, well, I'm not qualified to do that, I've never learned them skills, I'm not going to help. So what, we're going to watch someone die?
Yeah, I mean, no.
Or take a video.
But
Take a video for Facebook.
Actually, a lot of people would like to help,
but they just don't know how.
Yeah, it's like a nature instinct for us humans to, when somebody needs help, you want to go and help. But the thing is, you don't know how to start. You don't know what to do because you don't have the skills.
So for me, I want to encourage everyone of every fitness level to join in this course. As I said earlier, this is the level that I believe every diver should aim to as a minimum. When you become an open water diver, do not think that's the end of it. Just as a minimum, you should get to rescue diver level. Because you will never forgive yourself if you're diving with your buddy and then you can't help them in their hour of need. Even if you fail at this, at least you tried, so you can rest and understand that you did your best on the day. You know, and that's the most important thing, that we're able to try, and we do try. So I wanted to really make a point of talking about that because I know it's a misconception. You're
Yep.
grinning away at the camera.
No, I'm looking at Charlotte. Yeah.
So that's that one, the fitness.
Yes.
We discussed already earlier the prerequisites, but we didn't really finish that because we got cut off.
Yeah.
So the prerequisites to enrol, we discussed already that you need to be a venture diver with some navigation experience as a minimum. And if you're from a different organisation, the equivalent.
To advance.
So how about the age? What age do you need to enrol into the rescue diver course? Do we have a minimum age?
Yep. 15 for adults.
And 12 for kids. Yeah.
Well remembered. They check the instructor guide during the break.
Oh, yeah.
So you're quite right, ladies. You know, as an adult, certification is 15 years old, and as a junior, you can enrol at the age of 12.
Yeah.
Tell me, Lulu, if you enrol at the age of 12, is the course any different to what the adult course will be? Is the training any different?
It would be the depth. No?
Training will be the same. I mean, because open water adults and the children, they share the same book anyway.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I think it will be the same. So.
You're quite right. The training is the same. You're right to some degree on the depth, in the sense that obviously a 12-year-old will be restricted on certain depths.
Yeah.
However, the rescue training generally doesn't really go beyond around 12 metres.
That's true.
You know, occasionally we might go deeper on if we're doing some of the searches or the scenarios.
Yeah.
But we don't need to dive deep for rescue, so that's not really an issue. So the training is the same. So if a 12-year-old takes the training and then comes of age and turns 15, do they need to do any additional training to keep their rescue certification?
Good question, but I don't know. It's automatically
Upgraded to adult.
Yeah.
Correct. So if they do the training at the age of 12, so guys out there, if you've got some young children or juniors that want to enrol, don't worry, they don't have to do anything more. They can enrol as juniors at the age of 12, and then when they come of the age of 15, they will be automatically upgraded to the adult certification. So that's quite clear. So regarding the prerequisite, is what else do they need to enrol in the rescue diver course? We've got their age, we've covered.
EFR.
That's correct. So tell me what's EFR?
EFR is emergency first response. All right. That's one of the prerequisites as well if you want to enroll in the rescue course. There's no age limit.
Correct.
For
There's
the
no age
EFR.
limit.
Yeah, no age limit. And yes.
Have equivalent?
Yeah.
Can we accept equivalency?
Yep.
Yes.
So I know that a lot of our followers and divers are working in the medical profession. Yeah, we've got some big hospitals here in PADI, and many doctors and nurses.
Yep.
So, or they work in other professions where they have some training, such as St John's Ambulance.
Yes.
So, what's the requirement regarding that? Is there any requirement there in terms of their equivalency?
CPR, childcare.
Yeah.
So, well, it must include CPR and first aid.
First aid.
We include childcare in our training when we conduct EFR as a standard, but it is actually an optional addition. But we include childcare and infant. So we even do CPR on the baby mannequin as well. But if they don't have that, it's not a problem. But let's say you do a St John's Ambulance or another organisation, or indeed EFR, it must be within 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah? So the 2 years is a requirement. Now, if you haven't done that, we're going to run an EFR course as well, just prior to the rescue, so that people can obtain both certifications, even though they're standalone courses. So we've catered for that. And we've got obviously our killer deal at the moment. What we're encouraging our divers to enrol in the rescue diver course, and we've passed on some great discounts. Yeah. So maybe you'd like to tell us about the deal that we've got.
All right. So
running.
for the EFR, we have one scheduled on the 15th, which is this Saturday. Only $265 per person. It will be conducted at actually in this classroom, at KK Times Square. And then the 2 remaining days of the rescue course, it's $690 per person. That's half price of what we normally offer, and it's on the island at our dive center, and inclusive of equipment, the certification fees, materials, refreshments. Did I repeat that again? No.
And we're using the digital
crew pack, so you get to study in advance before you go into your course. So it saves your island time.
Yeah, means we're having fun diving rather than studying books on the island. Experience, I want to just touch on experience level as a prerequisite. So we talked about what's the minimum enrolment, but a lot of people say to me, or over the years have said to me, oh, I'm not going to do rescue yet because I've only got maybe 10 dives or 15 dives. And my answer to them is always the same. My answer is, well, this is the perfect time for you to do it. Get into good habits early and learn skills early. You don't need 20,000 dives to be able to master a skill in rescue. You just need to be able to be shown how to do it, and by an instructor, for example, and then practice that yourself. We encourage you to take part in and practice all of the skills. So that helps you to master the skills, and you don't need endless dive experience to enroll.
That's true.
So that's why we have the minimums are not dive number minimums. They are experience level judged in the sense of the course itself. For example, adventure diver with navigation, because you need some basic navigation skill. So fitness and experience are 2 of the barriers that I regularly hear about, and the third barrier is price, and you've addressed that with your wonderful deal, Melissa, that you released recently. And we're doing this for a number of reasons. Why are we doing such a great deal? Number one, well, I don't know if you noticed, guys, but there's a little thing called a pandemic floating around. You know, we want to encourage the local community as much as possible to be diving and taking training courses. We're also a training specialist centre, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're well known for our training. What's our dive centre level, Lulu?
We are the Career Development.
Yes.
Career Development Center.
Yeah, that's quite right. And that's the highest level that you can reach in the PADI system for dive centres. So because we're predominantly a training centre, you know, we want to share that with the local community as much as possible. So we're encouraging people to do that. So the price is great, the training's great, and I want to reassure everybody that although our price is low, we do not cut corners. We don't cut corners. No. The training is conducted in the appropriate way, and we always do our very best.
Professional way.
EFR is a non-diving course. You don't need any dives. You don't even need to be a diver to enrol in that. So guys, if you've got children that you want to put into it, let them learn the basics. Or anybody, diver or non-diver, you want to come along and join your partner who's going to enrol in the rescue, but they do an EFR, and you can come along and join them, even if you're a non-diver. Be together. Families that play together, stay together.
Okay, so the next one is, if it involves with a handicapped student, can they enroll?
Okay, so I'm going to answer that very directly as well, because yes, I see Melissa and Lulu nodding away. And what I would say is that decision is made by the medical professional. So all that you need to do is see your doctor, and we strongly recommend that actually you see a dive specialist doctor, which is a good friend of ours, and colleague, Dr. Rahizad, who's the top diving specialist in the local area from the Sabah Clinic. And we strongly recommend that you see him in particular because he is a dive specialist in terms of medicine. So the doctor would make that decision, not us. We're diving instructors. We're not able to comment on your physical fitness for diving. So if you have any yes answers on your medical form, and disabilities of any kind would create a yes answer, it doesn't mean that you can't dive. It means you have to see a medical professional to get the correct advice. And that's where we pass over to those guys. Any other questions, Charlotte? No? So, okay, how about this? If you were going to enroll Lulu into the EFR program, the course itself, and she's worried what I'm going to ask. He asked tricky questions. Tell me, could I become, or could you become an instructor in that EFR instructor?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
What about if I'm a non-diver?
Yes, you can. Because it doesn't include, it doesn't it doesn't require you to be a diver to become an emergency first responder. Then you can also become an instructor because of that. You can teach people, let more people become rescuer online.
Yeah.
There's a common misconception that you know, people need to be a diver to do EFR. Yes, you need to be a diver to do rescue, and you need to be an EFR responder to enroll in rescue. But you do not need to be a diver at all to enroll in EFR. And you can also become a professional trainer in that yourself. So myself and Pat Lowe, who you met last time we did a live chat, are both instructor trainers in this field, and we regularly conduct instructor courses. So for those people that wish to upgrade and be able to qualify their own students, they can do an upgrade with us and become an instructor as well. So for me, that's a really important point and has a lot of value, and something that I'd like to see the local community doing more of, and that's qualifying people for EFR and first aid, because it's a basic thing. So, and that includes that childcare as well. So we mentioned earlier that childcare is included in our course, our training course. And we do this as a standard. We don't teach any EFR course without having the childcare involved, correct?
Yes.
It's an automatic thing that we do. And I can recall it was actually a staff member some years ago that I taught to be an EFR instructor actually. He became an instructor, and he told me 2 days after he completed the training that he actually saved his own baby's life that had choked. And he learned the skills in the course with me. And so there was no greater moment for me than being able to hear that someone had used that effectively almost straight away. It was like sent from heaven that he had learned those skills. So, you know, children have accidents more than adults. Unless you're Melissa, she has more accidents than like anyone. Hey, that's 10 ringgit in the box. So she would walk past the desk, she bumped into the desk. So, but if you're a normal person, a normal adult doesn't have that many accidents, but children,
they're more prone.
what kind of accidents do children have?
Choking?
Choking, because they want to eat everything.
Yeah.
Like children like, oh, this lovely shark. What does it taste like?
Sanitize that.
Hey, that's it. What other?
Falling down.
Drowning.
Falling, yeah, because kids climb stuff.
Yeah.
Drowning because they're not confident swimmers.
Yeah.
What about the colourful liquids that live below the kitchen sink?
Oh, the detergent and all.
Yeah. And, you know, they taste great, not. So, you know, but they look like they taste great. You know, some of these lime green ones, you know, you want to have a go yourself, you know, it's like, so, well, you know.
You were a special child. Okay, the next one is from Julius. Hi, Julius.
Hi.
Is the EFR the same as any basic first aid course conducted by other organizations? Wait. Any additional syllabus in the EFR compared to the basic first aid course conducted out there?
Well, we need to see the basic.
Okay, that's a good answer from Lulu there. Well, what did you say?
We need to see what certification is that, what it includes. Then we can
See
say
if it's equivalent to the EFR.
if there's any that we teach that is not in there. But as long as it has first aid and CPR, then it's equivalent. But if you want to know what is not included, then we have to see what you have in your certification.
Exactly.
What's included in
So
this.
what did that organisation... I mean, to be fair, most organisations do cover it comprehensively, and it's not usually a problem. But as we said, we include, for example, childcare and stuff like that, but not all do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, send us in what you've got and we can check it out. And if there's anything missing, we can let you know. And as long as it meets the requirement for rescue, then it will be fine.
Okay, so the next question is, how much is the rescue diver and EFR combined?
Got calculator? So, okay, EFR is 265, and then the rescue cost is 690. So total is 955.
And maybe you can tell us what it would be without the discount, just so people can hear what they're genuinely saving.
Okay, so take out your calculator again. EFR, the normal price, EFR is 420, and then the rescue is 138.
Plus.
1380.
1380.
Yeah, around there. And then total amount is 1,800 ringgit. So you can compare with 1,800. It's actually, you're paying actually for 2 person, 955. The price difference is 845. So you just need to top up a little bit, and I mean, if you're planning to bring another
And it's
person,
a great deal, I mean, overall you're almost saving 50%.
Yeah.
Even if your figure's slightly wrong or whatever, it's a huge saving. So, for us, we want to just give that to you, we want to pass that to you. We want to encourage as many people to get to this level as possible. So, we've got the course running soon. Please enrol, save yourself some money, enjoy the training. Many people, how about the fun element? We haven't spoken about the fun element of rescue. Is it fun?
I cannot imagine it being fun, so I
Oh my God.
really want to know. I really want to know.
Charlotte, is fun.
it is, for me, it was tiring, but the experience, not experience, but everything, the whole training was, it's a rewarding experience actually. Rewarding.
Yeah, it's like basically most of the skills you learn, you already learn the basics in open water course. It's just that you're enhancing and thinking about other people. Not just thinking about yourself, so you're thinking about other people. Especially when you're doing it with friends, then it becomes more fun because there's lots of laughter.
Yeah.
Many people actually say their comments of the rescue training is that it was the most fun course that they did. Even after they've completed dive master or instructor levels, and many specialties, the rescue diver was actually the one that they enjoyed the most. And I would genuinely agree with that. Let's talk about what's involved in the course, because we haven't actually discussed what you do during training. Yeah? So the first thing that you're going to do is obviously complete your academic portion, and we've got the digital crew pack for you guys. So when you enroll, and you obviously need to make a payment, we're going to send you a link, and you can use this from your phone and work through all of that in the comfort of your own home or in your lunch break or whatever. They're very convenient, very user-friendly, the digital crew pack from PADI now. So you've got all of that covered. And we've discussed EFR and first aid, emergency first response and first aid. So that's basic stuff there, covering CPR, how to deal with choking incidents and so on and so forth. So there are many aspects to that are covered, how to bandage people and so on. But then we come to the rescue diver training itself. So the first thing we're going to do with you guys when you come into the island is obviously we'll give you a briefing on the general conduct, but you're going to be doing some refreshment on self-rescue skill. There's a small element in there where we do remind you of some basic self-rescue, such as alternate air source use, cramp removal, stuff like that. Self-rescue basic stuff.
It's the alternate air source. When we we did emergency dive.
Yeah.
Exchange. Equipment exchange.
Yes, I was exchange. I did, and I just grabbed my own.
She took her own. But they mind, she went from hers to her own. And I was like, you and Kimmy both did it. And I was like,
Oh my god.
I never saw that problem before. She'd been drinking the night before. Like I said, a little bit accident prone. So we've got your self-rescue skills that we run through, and that just brushes you up a little bit, a little refresher. And then we move into, there are 10 skills that we run through, and we cover everything from dealing with tiredness, to panicking, to then unconsciousness, finding divers, assisting divers on the surface, bringing divers up once you've found them to the surface safely, dealing with underwater problems such as
out of air.
out of air situations, or
what the word?
Overexertion. So dealing with various different problems, we address using oxygen in the field, and then we also move on to 2 complete scenarios. Yeah. Now the idea is that you're learning these rescue skills throughout the course, such as the 10 skills, or some of which I've explained, and then we ask you to put that together in a scenario form as a group. So you learn how to get people out of the water and stuff like that, but then you're presented with a situation. And it's just some random situation that's duplicated in real life. Then you have to deal with it as a group of people. And that's where the fun really comes in, because you put together all the pieces of the puzzle that you've been learning over the couple of days, and you apply this to scenario situations. And then the instructors are giving you feedback on how you might have done things differently. But you know what I love about rescue the most? There is no right or wrong way. There is no fail. It's maybe you could have done it different, but hey, you had a go.
Yeah.
Maybe you learn from history. You know, that we all make mistakes in life, you know. I often say, and it's a phrase that I love, and I've applied to my entire life, and success is built on failure. We need to fail at things to succeed at things. So rescue is the same. We need to get things wrong every now and again so that we can improve it. And so that's what I love the most about rescue. There isn't actually the stress on you to, oh, I've got to pass this. Yes, you need to pass your final exam, but that's digital. So, you know, you've got lots of chances to have another go and so on.
But is it a theory or a practical exam?
Oh, it's a theory exam. But then when you're on the island doing the practical, it's not pass or fail.
Yeah.
It's trying your best. That's what I love.
To save someone.
Trying your best to address a serious situation, and you learn from whatever mistakes you might make. So that's what I love about it. And the stress isn't there, or pressure, if you like, for you to pass, or, you know, like even in open water courses, like, oh, I've got to remove my mask, you know, and people get stressed about being able to do that successfully. But actually, when it comes to helping a diver underwater that's got an issue of some kind, such as out of air, even if you mess it up a bit, okay, we might get you to have a couple of tries, but you mess it up, so you mess it up. But you realise where you went wrong. And then you can apply that to the next time, in the unlikely event that you are having to deal with a problem.
Okay, so is EFR a requirement to get rescue dive course?
So can you say that again? Is EFR
and a requirement to get rescue dive course?
It's a
prerequisite.
So yes, you do have to take the EFR course before enrolling into the PADI rescue course.
Or the equivalent.
Or equivalent,
Yeah. So if you've got an equivalent, such as St John's Ambulance, or you're a qualified doctor, or a nurse, or something like that, then you can enrol straight into rescue. But we do need to check your credential and show a copy of that prior to the training. So you would need to contact us.
Also make sure it's valid 2 years before you join the course.
Correct.
Yep. No other questions, right? There's one story that it's not that I really like, but it's good. Lulu had an experience before saving someone's life, and it's nice to share. It's always like a good reminder, you know, like, hey, it's good, you know, sharing people.
Yeah, yeah, it happened like 2 years ago.
Oh shit, 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah.
Take me
It's
being
about-
She
it's
said
about
shit.
2 years ago. 2 years ago, but we were not diving, we were free diving, like skin diving.
Skin diving,
It's
yeah.
not that deep.
What's skin diving?
You dive without any scuba diving equipment. Like you go in.
Take a breath,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Breath holding, yeah. Okay. So what happened was we were doing that skin diving, me and my buddy, and then something happened. He tries to stay quite some time down there, you know, just to go over the limit, yeah. But then he couldn't really do that, and then when he tries to go up, he get the shallow water black up. Just before he reached the surface, he blacked out completely. And me, being an instructor and a rescue diver, of course, yeah. So when that happened, actually, I don't really realize that it's happening. Yeah, I thought he's just like playing, like joking, because the eyes is still open, and then he seems like he's still coming up, but he wasn't. And then he slowly starts sinking, and that's when I realized that it's real. Yeah. Because of that, I immediately catch him and then bring him up to the surface. But still, I'm in shock, which is normal for people, right?
Yeah,
I'm in
exactly.
shock, the adrenaline, and I forgot all my training for a bit. And then I'm like panicking because it's not the same like when you're doing the rescue. We are with all the equipment. We're not diving, so we don't have the equipment. We only have fins, mask, and the weights that we use that time, 1 kilo weight. So I'm like, what should I do? Because he's completely
rigid,
freeze, like not moving. And I tried to keep him up on the surface because he's very heavy with the weight. And then that's when I tried to think about, you know, like when you think about your training, you know you have the training, you have to really think the steps again.
Yeah.
You know, the first thing is think before you act, right? So I think, and then that's when it slowly comes, the training. Then I remember I have to make sure that both of us stay afloat, yeah, while looking for people for help.
Yeah.
And then I drop his everything, and then
Drop
I
his
realized,
Drop his shorts.
drop his weights, drop his mask, and take off his fins, I think.
Yeah.
And then, but I didn't take off my fin because I needed
To swim.
Yeah. So I just brought him, and then the other people around that area also noticed that if something is happening, there's emergency, because I call
scream.
for help.
Yeah.
I scream like help, help. But at first people thought that I'm joking or it's just a part of the
training.
Yeah. But then they realized because I'm struggling myself to stay afloat.
Yeah.
Because in training we have all the equipment, it's easier.
Yeah.
But adrenaline actually helps. And then we take him to the shore. Before we reach the shore, he wakes up, but still like don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
And then everyone's bringing the
Oxygen.
and then people crowding and
Teamwork.
yes. So you don't, like Richard said, it's like everybody tend to help. It's not just you. So you don't have to, unless it's just you and the person in the area, no other people, right? But yeah, we were lucky. There's a lot of people. We have the managers. We follow the SOP and everything. Both come and then.
He was lucky. He survived. Lulu
Yeah, he survived.
genuinely saved his life.
So yeah, that's a very
Yeah.
interesting
It's true.
story.
And an interesting thing that you said, sorry Melissa, before you carry on, you said about having to think about what you did, because you wasn't in full equipment. And our training starts from a diver in full equipment. We get to the point where Lulu was saying, when you don't have any equipment, we also cover that.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting thing that when you're in a panic situation, you tend to things trigger in your mind, and you do things subconsciously. So what Lulu was doing was trying to recall that subconscious course of events that she needed to follow. Eventually she did, but you have to go through the process first of getting past the bit where you remove equipment.
Yeah.
If you're dealing with a diver straight off, actually you would probably just go into an automatic reaction of, okay, 1,000, 2, 1,000, give the breaths, call for help, and so on and so forth. So it's an interesting point, but one thing I would say to anyone that you achieve the rescue diver training, and that is, please continue having a little fun practicing rescue. You can join us on the island anytime you want, and maybe in your lunch, go in and quickly practice a basic rescue skill, and we'll be happy to help you with that and guide you in the right direction, just to keep your skill level up. And that's something that I'm fortunate. I'm an instructor, trainer, and actually in every IDC that I teach, I'm covering all the rescue skills.
So the refresher.
Yeah, so I get refreshed regularly.
Yeah.
So actually, when I've in the past needed to use those skills, it's not a pleasant experience to have to use them. But when I do, I kind of go just automatic, and it's remarkable how calm I remain because I just go automatic. It's not even something I think about much. So, you know, I would say do it as much as you can, because that will really help you grow the confidence to use those skills in the real world. What was you going to say, Melissa? I interrupted you.
I actually have also a feedback from one of my students, my classmate. I taught him in the BF area, and then and then a month after that, he came back to me, like texted me, Lulu, I just saved someone.
Whoa!
I'm like, oh, really? What happened? And then he said he just returned from work, and then suddenly he heard like a loud bang outside of his house.
Accident.
Yeah, and then immediately his instinct, like the EFR instinct, came out, and then he ran outside, and then he saw a car like smashed into at the side of the house. And then there's an old lady in there. So he immediately remembers, because it's still new to him. Yeah, of course. He went to the lady, and then he saw that she's okay, but she's confused. So he started with the interviews, like what happened, what actually happened, did you feel anything, until he helped the woman to calm down until the ambulance arrived. Yeah. So basically, once the woman was lifted up into the ambulance, the woman actually managed to say to him, "Thank you so much for staying with me. Like, you actually calmed me down," something like that, calm me down. So
it's genuinely very interesting.
Yeah.
It gives you the confidence to help. I recently drove past. There was a road accident. In fact, I didn't drive past it. I saw it happen. A guy get hit by a motorbike, a pedestrian get hit by a motorbike. I stopped and automatically helped. But the amount of people that go by that don't stop and help, because they don't have the confidence to actually have any success. And one of the important points that we covered earlier in the fact that it's not a pass or fail, it's a participation course. Because if we look for perfection, we will never find it. And if we ask someone to be perfect at a skill, giving, mouth to mouth to our core sharp, and we're not perfect at it, then if we, as instructors, seek perfection, people will stop helping. They'll go, well, I'm not good enough for perfection. So we don't seek perfection.
Yeah.
We try to just say, well, let's do our best. We'll give some.
Yeah.
Now, one other thing, how about COVID? Is there any changes in our training?
Yes, there is. No?
Yes, you're right.
No.
Well, I want to cover it because, once again, these are things that are different now in our world, and we've got a different... in the rescue course, we're very hands-on.
Yeah.
We're giving mouth-to-mouth, we're giving mouth-to-pocket masks. These are some of the skills being used. How are we covering the social distancing aspect of that? Could you give us any information?
Wear gloves.
Barriers. It's
Barriers.
included in the...
Barriers are included, you're quite right. But now in the training, particularly for rescue exercise number 7, there is some differences in the training. Because in the training, we cannot, whereas previously we would actually simulate by blowing on the chin. And those of you that have watched there is a rescue exercise number 7 video on our YouTube, where I'm personally demonstrating on one of our staff team. You'll see me actually blowing on the chin to simulate an effective rescue breath. And when it comes to pocket mask, my lips make contact with the pocket mask.
Yeah.
So now we maintain the distance, and what we have to do is we have to call and talk through exactly what we're doing, and do it with our hands, but not touching the person. So we create the distance, and we are talking through the entire simulation. So it's about as good as we can do in the current situation of COVID, but we must maintain the SOP, we must maintain the distance during the training. So that's actually an important point for you guys, and be reassured that if you're on the course with someone you don't know, then you know it's not a problem. If you're on the course with your own partner, who you perhaps sleep with every night, then it's not a problem. Well, you know what I mean. You're not worried about giving mouth-to-mouth contact with a partner that you live with, that is perhaps someone you're sleeping with. So if we've got partners on the course, then we can revert back to the original training process. So that's something else for you guys to think about as well. So you, on the original, in the initial consultation on the island, we will talk to you about that, and then we'll find out who's buddying with who, and what the best approach to the training will be. So it's important that you know that we're thinking about the SOP and your care as well in the rescue training.
Do you feel doctors learn rescue diver course more easily? Does it?
No, I wouldn't say that, because it's a combination of dive skill and the ability to obviously deliver some form of medical or basic, it's not even medical assistance, it's basic life support. You know, I'm sure that doctors are very capable of giving chest compressions and various types of assistance that are covered in the course, but then I'm quite sure that if you're a doctor, your dive skill perhaps won't be as strong as perhaps us. We're all professional divers here. So where we have the edge is the dive skill. So it's a combination of factors. I think people who work in the medical profession are obviously going to be more confident to give help. But I wouldn't say that they would necessarily find it easier, because it's not a challenge as such. It's something we have to just participate in and learn from our mistakes and so on, like I said earlier. So it's the confidence to give care, and that's what we want to develop in our divers. We want you to have the confidence to care for others and try your best to take part. So yeah, do check out our YouTube video. In fact, when you see me on the video giving the mouth-to-mouth to one of our instructors, he indeed also used his skills, as many of us have when we work in the profession. He also saved the diver's life. The diver, I don't know if you recall the incident, he was guiding a couple of divers. They were fun divers, they were from a different agency, and I won't say names. They'd done the first dive and they were okay, but one of the buddies wasn't very confident. She wouldn't participate in a refresher, just outright refused. And then on the second dive run into a novel problem, which was actually easily addressed, but due to a lack of training, quality training in earlier course, actually then the problem escalated. He saw that, he dealt with it underwater, brought her up. When the panic had happened, she'd already drank some water and she was unconscious. And I have no doubt that if he wasn't there and acted as quickly as he did, she also would have died. So obviously she did it, and it's a happy ending, and it's not always, but at least we try. And you must have the confidence to try. So once again, I'll say it again, it's a level that I believe every diver should be at as a minimum. You should be able to help others, and we want you to have that confidence. So we're offering a killer deal for you to invest in yourself and have that confidence.
Oh yeah, wait. Talking about confidence, this is the same guy that I taught EFR. Before he took EFR, he actually told me a story about, he's thinking about taking EFR that time, but he suddenly, being in a position where he saw somebody choke in a restaurant. Like he wants to help, but he doesn't know what to do. Yeah, he's like, I want to help, but I'm not confident to go and help because I don't have the skills, and I'm afraid that if something happened to that person, that people will blame me. He said that. So that's why he really wanted to take the EFR, because he heard when I talked about EFR in class, he said it's like it's important because he wants to help people, but he doesn't have any confidence and certification or skills.
And it's an interesting point that you say. I remember helping the guy on the road, and I couldn't wait for the emergency medical services to arrive. Out of the course training that we deliver assumes that EMS is available and can come, so your job is to be the first responder and do your best to keep them alive for that period of time. And there was you know, a lot of blood around and stuff like that, and you know, and I was very relieved to see the emergency medical service arrive, because I felt the responsibility. I had to keep him okay, and if something were to go wrong, they would blame me. But actually, that's where you're wrong, because no one will blame you for trying your best. If you didn't try at all, it's definitely going to get worse. So by trying, you at least can rest knowing that you did your best to assist someone. And that is what we want to share with everybody. So, you know, we just want to encourage you to do that. And please don't think you're not fit enough. Please don't think you don't have enough experience. If any of you out there are open water divers, please just consider taking the advanced course before it, or the adventure diver, and we will assist you to get that one complete so you can enroll, and then your EFR and your rescue after.
Alright, so just a reminder, the price. Our EFR normal price is $420. Right now we are offering it at $265, and for the rest,
I'm going to need CPR.
and then for the rescue, alright, original price is $1380. The price right now is $690 per person. So that's really, it's nearly 50% discount. So sign up now. We do have a scheduled course again, running this Saturday, 15th of August, for the EFR course, and then on the, well, what's the date? The 22nd to the 23rd for the rescue course. Okay.
How about if there's, I mean, that's great for an individual that doesn't have a group to join and they want to join other people. How about if there's a group of 3 or 4 and they can't make them dates? Is there?
Yeah, we can. We definitely can. Just drop us an email or WhatsApp us or call us on our hotline, and we can discuss on the dates. We run.
Well, for that number, we can run a course just for that group. So you don't have to join the scheduled dates. You can actually, you know, your group can do the course themselves. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Yes, that is right.
Okay, so Rachel Young says, hi guys.
Hi Rachel.
Hi.
So Sherry asked how to book.
Well, that's easy, man. Email Melissa, or you can book online via our website. Yeah?
Yes, book online. Like Richard said, book online, or you can email us at info@downbelowadventures.com. Okay? Oh, WhatsApp us at our hotline number 012-866-1935.
Well remembered. I don't even know the number myself because I've never rang it.
One more question actually from a friend. She texted me earlier because she's interested to do the rescue course, but she asked me what can she do next if she got the rescue diving course.
After rescue?
Yeah, what can she do next?
Awesome.
Can she make a career out of it? So I think it's important as well for people to know, right? The continuing education.
Why don't you explain it?
Let me explain it.
You regret it now? You regret it now?
Okay, so basically what I explained to her is, as a rescue diver course, okay, there's 2 paths that you can go after that. If you want to make a career out of it, you can actually enroll to become a dive master after a rescue diver course, okay, if you want to make a career. But of course there's prerequisites for that one as well. So for that one, you can always email us for more info. Yeah, email Melissa if you want to go into professional level, okay. If not, if you pro is not for you, then you can always go up the ladder to become master scuba diver, which is, it's more into,
It's the black belt of the recreational level.
It's the black belt in Taekwondo.
Karate.
Recreational level, because this level level here is professional level.
All the black box is professional.
Yeah.
Non-professional, this route.
Recreational level.
And the requirement to be master scuba diver, one of the requirements is to be a rescue diver. So you're well on the way to choosing the route you want, and your friend can of course enrol in Dive Master. And it's important that you're confident in rescue skill when you enrol in Dive Master, because we cover that training.
Yes.
So, you know, you want to have the confidence to know as a rescue diver you can apply those skills to that course during your course training. Just like Melissa with the alternate air source, helping herself rather than others.
Save yourself first.
Well, that's very true actually, you've got to be safe yourself to help others. So that's the system of education. Actually in this flow chart, if you ever want to see this, you can look in your open water manual. You can go to PADI app, the PADI app, you can see all this stuff on the PADI app. You can look in your advanced manuals. This flow chart is represented all over the PADI website, so you guys can easily check this yourself. And if you have questions, shoot us questions. We're always happy to answer those questions for you guys. Yeah.
Be careful. Wait. Put that.
I know you're worried about your.
Nakan?
She's worried about. She balanced the soil.
Hang on. Alright, so
Remember when we talked about pocket masks and all? If you do want to purchase your own pocket mask, we do have it for sale at our dive shop. I forgot the price though.
Well, actually, it's an interesting point because I forgot to mention earlier. One thing that we do need to do is each participant that doesn't know the person they're helping must use their own pocket mask.
Yep.
So, you know, they're relatively cheap. We can offer you a discounted rate on that, on the pocket mask. If you're doing the course as a couple, a partner that you obviously are close to anyway, then you can share. You know, we're always looking at the new COVID situation now, so we just want to make sure the SOP is good.
Yeah. But I mean, it will not only benefit you during the course because of the COVID situation. I do keep mine in my car actually, you know, just in case. If there's
She's a little accident prone.
No, but you know, if there
it's like a mobile disaster.
It's just, you know, expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
You know, you never know if you're going to see an accident. If you can help, you know, help. I have, pocket masks. Yeah. I think I have gloves also in my car. So it's very, very useful. Although you might think like, I'm not going to use it anytime soon, but you never know when you're going to use it.
Yeah.
It's a great piece of equipment.
Yep.
Okay, so Rachel Young.
Hello.
How physically fit does one need to be to join the rescue course?
Rachel, you didn't tune in earlier.
Caught red-handed.
Lulu, you want to answer quickly for Rachel?
How physically fit?
Yeah, do you need to be physically fit?
Of course you need to be physically fit, but you don't have to be like really muscly.
Anyone can enroll in this course.
Do they look fit?
Yes.
As long as you have the interest, and as Richard said earlier,
As long as you're fit to dive. Okay, but if someone who is a non-diver, you want to do the EFR. Was it the EFR?
No, it's the rescue.
The rescue.
Rachel is a qualified diver.
Yeah, but
It's
fit to dive.
actually, me and you did Rachel's training. You did most of it.
Oh, yeah.
And I finished her last dive.
Okay, so I understand what Rachel's trying to ask. It's just that, like Richard said earlier, he wants to encourage every diver to be a rescue diver because it helps you to be confident in helping other divers in need. So physically, if you're a diver, you're already fit.
Well, to answer your question very directly, Rachel, I know you and Andy, and you're both perfectly fit enough to enrol in this course. If you are fit enough to do open water course, in other words, medically fit, you can enrol in this training.
But first, you have to sign up for your advanced course.
Yes.
Which is long overdue. No, long overdue. Come on, Ray.
No, but I think it's such a popular question, even for open water divers. I mean, those who want to enroll in it, they keep asking, must I be physically fit? I think what they are worried is
carrying everyone.
Yeah, carrying a tank, carrying a human.
Swing.
Yeah, so I think that's what they are worried
What
about.
you must remember is, let's say we're all in this room now, and let's say someone has an incident by the door and we've got to evacuate them from the building. you know, we're all going to look at our own abilities and we're going to help each other to achieve that goal. We're not going to say, oh, Melissa, you've got to carry them, I'm going to take the shaft, and Lulu, you're going to make the coffee. You know, we're going to, as a team of people, say, well, okay, look, let's get help called and let's get them out of the building if that's what we've got to do. So, you know, it's about teamwork, and you look at who has what abilities, and if you're not physically able to lift someone on your own, it's natural you're going to get some help. You know, if Rachel, you're at home and you get Andy collapse in the kitchen, and
Touch wood.
it's probably you that tripped him up. But seriously, if you've got to move him, you're going to say, well, I can't do that alone, you know, I'm going to get some help. You might get a neighbour to help you, or a bystander, or someone. So, you know, we don't do it alone. You know, we're trying, keep trying to emphasise that, because no one person can do everything.
Also, there was one incident where I didn't have to use any, like, physical, like, energy much. So there was this particular someone. So we were on a dive together, and she kind of like panicked because she was out of air. All right. So this is one of the things that you learn during your rescue course.
Check your air.
Yeah, check your air
That'd be
first,
quite nice.
and also to recognize, you know, when a diver is in distress. So we were ascending, and see, again, you're in the water, you don't have to, you know, I mean, you're still in the water, you don't have to carry them whatsoever. So recognizing another person, another diver in distress is, you know,
part of the training.
Yeah, part of the training. So she said she was low on air or out of air. Instinct, so I took my alternate air source, and, you know, kind of like wanting to shove it to her mouth. Yeah. It was a great experience, can't Charlotte?
Yeah, it was great.
Rescue
no names.
Rescue exercise number 4 is actually about recognising and responding appropriately to overexerted divers, for example, and also out of air divers. So that what we must do on our approaches is recognise what is wrong with those people, and that's part of the training too. So we really cover very comprehensively how you assist divers in need. And that is the key. You can obviously prevent these issues by checking your air, Charlotte.
Yes.
Once in a while.
I did check.
And communicating with your buddy.
No names.
No, I was only generally saying. Hey Charlotte, you can check your air once in a while if you're a diver. Hey Lulu, Charlotte.
Never mind.
She doesn't know.
Any other questions, Charlotte?
The diver.
Any other questions?
No.
No, yeah.
So guys, do you have any other questions? Anyone out there got any misconceptions they want addressed? Or, you know, please tell your friends as well, encourage your friends to join in this training. Like we said, non-diver can also enroll in EFR. So we would encourage everyone to become an emergency first responder and get a qualification for that. And like Lulu said, you know, her friend who she recently taught, who didn't have the confidence to help initially, and then when he learned the skills and it was all fresh, and that was a comment she made earlier, the skills were fresh so he felt confident to help someone. That's why you need to keep it valid every 2 years. So the EFR course, you know, it is designed to renew, and we do a refresher for that program as well, which is cheaper than the actual initial course. So if you need the refresher, we can also take care of that for you. But you do not need to refresh for the rescue diver. That is a qualification level you will reach, and it is not removed if you don't refresh. It's just more your responsibility to refresh yourself. So, yeah, good point.
Okay, so let's conclude this live session. And Rachel says, let's hope if I put Andy down, he stays down. Thanks for answering my questions, guys. Great info. See you guys in Manuka next month for my birthday.
Yay!
And advance.
In advance.
And advance.
Okay.
Thanks everyone, thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you on the rescue.